Well, I hope the alarm doesn't go off. Yeah. Hello, everybody. I was debating whether I should go live or not for the second time today, but I thought I may as well because we're getting some good information, and I found that people expose themselves in the comment section a lot more on the lives than they do on the other. So this is a good opportunity to kind of clear out the environment a little bit. I do hope that the day is treating you kindly and that you're all well. So let us tap in and see what storyline Spirit would like to share with us. I'd like to mention that, Jim Self from Mastering Alchemy is a good teacher. And he talks about the rose, and he also talks about the braid of time and its unraveling. He speaks about 3 strands, which are, he calls them service to self, service to other, and then the combined. So the way that I see it is we've got the light, and then we've got the dark, the shadow, and then we've got those that war with each other all the time. And then we've got those who are just tired of freaking fighting. And so they want to come together and say, you know what, we're going to work in harmony together. We're not going to fight, not going to cheat, not going to steal. We're going to actually get together and do this the right way. But unfortunately, we got folks out there who are claiming that they're upset with readers who work both sides. And the problem with it is that your average oracle isn't working both sides. They're telling the story as it pertains to the environment, which includes both sides. So, I guess it's all in perception and the perspective. Those who want to hate and those who just want to see clearly and get along, Merry Christmas, everybody. All right, so we got somebody here. He's in a nightmare over being disconnected due to the research. They're really mad because they have been judged. And you are free to move into the reward that you have earned by surviving their brutality. And these powers of 3 are being restricted from making any proposals. So third-party enemies that get involved with others and then use that other energy to manipulate and do magic. So it looks to me like that's coming undone. There's some folks out there that are really upset about this. Everybody uses light and shadow as an excuse to fight. Everybody uses, well, not everybody, but many, utilize their religious perspectives as an excuse to fight. It's just crazy to me, and some of us are just tired of it. We're just tired of it, So anyway, I decided I'd go live to see what kind of energies we got out there and who wants to say what, and let's get some more perspective on the truth of things and what's going on here. Welcome to the channel, everybody. I appreciate you. Oh, thank you, Kate. I appreciate you too. Alrighty then, so let's begin. Alrighty then, so in the central energy, what do we got in the central energy for the collective planetary storyline? Please, Spirit, what do we got going on? Well, we've got the truth is being revealed. Big old sword of truth. Oh my goodness, some folks are getting cut by that, you know. There is some kind of surgery happening. There is a separation between the light and the dark. Only between those who wish to continue fighting, you know. It's like, it's just stupid. Apparently, according to Spirit, there has been a long-standing feud between, I guess, some freaking relatives long ago had a freaking fight, a falling out, and then there's been all this warring going on ever since then because they are incapable of managing themselves. They just want to proliferate hate and genocide and all that good stuff, right? They don't want to be good, moral, ethical humans, respecting life. So, anyway. In the challenge position, we got the truth here. So there's a new conflict. Somebody's getting cut out. There's a surgery going on, like a planetary surgery. There's a shift, a separation, the timeline, the braid of time. Those in service to self, those in service to others, and those who wish to take care of themselves while serving others as well. So, you know, there is a separation happening. And we got a lot of folks who, especially those who in the shadow, who require the energy of those in the light to produce manifestations. They're upset about this shift. In the challenge position, we have the Four of Swords. So we've got recuperation and renewal. There is the truth here, sharp truth. There's some folks being cut out. Well, there's a separation. There's a surgery happening. A freaking upper dimensional, you know, supreme source surgery, kind of separating everything. Excuse me. In the subconscious, we've got something's going to happen very, very swiftly. Quick action. There could be some kind of air travel, some kind of telepathy, some kind of messaging. This truth is traveling swiftly. The truth is traveling very quickly. It could be manifesting some changes very quickly also. In the recent past, yeah. So nostalgia, so memories. They're looking at the history of what has been done. God said that the need for vengeance is in the history. So we've got intentions and Whoa. Well, the Emperor is looking at the history. So nostalgia. What has occurred in the history is being looked at by the Emperor. According to the truth is being revealed regarding the history of things. So, intentions and expectations, yeah, to bring harmony to the foundation for families, you know, where they can go outside and not worry about being accosted or have their children disappear or their animals, you know, tortured. In the near future, the Nine of Cups. So you're coming into a life of luxury. This curator and his trafficking of the herd buddies, they're really mad over you receiving a comfortable life, collective. They don't want you to have that. they want to continue hoarding the wealth and keeping it, you know, for the upper echelon, which aren't really upper. They're just in those positions because of who they've been serving, which is being dismantled. The lens that's being looked through is the Ace of Wands. New opportunities and growth. So your growth could be looked at. Somebody may be looking at the growth, and the reward will be according to that, right? I mean, there's something about there's something about coins or something, how some will be given one, some will be given two, and then, you know, that there at some point there'll be an evaluation to discover what you did with them. Some will hoard it and not do anything with it. Some will, you know, party it away, swindle it or whatever. And then there's others who actually manifest something out of it. I'm not really familiar with the story. I do know it exists. Hi, thanks for being here, Felicia. All right, in the environment. Whoa, that came right out of there, didn't it? In the environment, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So we've got skill development, a mind of an apprentice. You're learning new things. You're mastering a particular skill. Hopes and fears. Page of Swords. Page of Swords. New ways of communicating. Thirst for knowledge. You may be wanting to like learn about the things that never were taught. The outgoing energy. Ooh, we got the Devil. King of Wands. Whoa. Well, King of Wands, overcoming challenges and bringing about a painful ending to those who have been tricking others into connections and deals that were not in their higher interest. They're being disconnected from the fruits of your labor, from the cups, and they're in a nightmare over this competition or over this fighting. Yeah, so they're being let go. There's some kind of balance that is being here. They have been talking about the scales are being balanced. So some folks are being released in order to balance the scales, and they're in regret over their failure. Justice is being served. The law of cause and effect is here because the star, the healer, the rejuvenator, the planetary stabilizers are strong. And so that means that these ones, the Devil is in a tower because of your public recognition, and they're being restricted. You know, they thought that they could just they're being restricted from your charity. They thought that if they buried you deep enough that nobody would recognize you and that they could masquerade as you and then receive your reward. Now we got some folks out there, they're being very threatening. They say that they have identified the rider, the horseman, and that they're coming after with all they've got. You know, last live, I had a masculine here saying he was going to come after me with everything that they got. Of course, I got blocked. I don't understand that mindset. I don't particularly like to entertain it either. BBC doc on Netflix. No, I don't watch television. I avoid it. The only time I really turn it on is if I'm using YouTube to listen to other readers, or if I use it for music. I like to use it for music. I try not to pay too much attention because it's pretty much all, it's a script. It's a weird freaking script. You know, it's a war over consciousness and energy, and I don't like to give them my attention because I can see their game, and I just don't want to fuel their efforts with my own energy. So I try not to turn it on. I don't want to entertain it because I'm not entertained by it. So we got the Ace of Swords here. Conflict. There could be a new conflict, or there's truth regarding the conflict. There could be some folks getting cut out. They're being released. Cords are being cut. Connections and contracts are being severed, canceled. Yeah, so we got the sword of truth is here. Somebody, the truth about feelings, the truth, somebody may be in their feelings about the truth. They've got mental clarity. They've got feelings. They may have feelings for you. Maybe they know the truth. They might love you. They might want to marry you. And they're fed up. They're fed up with this spiritual psycho effing around with you. Yeah, because they're a jackass. And it's too late for this jackass to do any damn thing. And it's shocking news. Ain't it shocking what love can do? So you're recuperating. The truth is here. You're resting. It's time for you to heal, to relax. You've been going through it. Going through it. You're recuperating from those happily single people that have been connecting with you just to side hustle the energy, right? They get up this one night stand business just to hook the energy, just to create some kind of an entanglement so that they can, and a permission to be in the energy so that from wherever they are, they can draw off that corded connection, right? And side hustle it, play in it. So you're recovering from that. You might be happy single. They've been connecting just long enough to create some kind of an entanglement so they can draw off the energy. That's the truth of it. Nobody was ever thinking to be faithful and loyal and actually, you know, powerful in their creation within a family unit. They didn't give a crap about that. So we got high speed with the Eight of Wands regarding the truth. Something is shifting very, very quickly. Bumping heads. I heard God, or I think it's God, or whoever's in charge over there in the upper echelon of the Supreme Courts and stuff, told this curator that they had siphoned the energy out of Divine Feminine for centuries, and that all of his energy, all of the energy belonging to his family, and everybody who benefited off of the siphoning of the wealth out of Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, the true sons and stars, yeah, all that energy that they took and all the energy that they have presently belongs now to the victims of the past. They have to give it. They have to hand it over. The Emperor is here looking at the history. The need for vengeance is in the history, he stated. Closing the cycle. So he's looking at the history of who's been siphoning, who's been prostituting people's energies, who's been profiting off of people, the energy that they don't even know, who's been bringing suffering to people they don't even know because they have got in there to create an entanglement, some kind of an entanglement, and have been playing in the energy. Sleazy, cheap, freaking thieves and illusionists. So we've got the Four of Wands here. There's a celebration for the community, and that's what this Emperor is doing. He's clearing out those who have been feeding on the stars, the suns, the beautiful energy. This is the end of their relationship with batteries. That's what God said. Somebody is having massive regrets. They can't feed anymore. I heard this curator and his little buddies saying, they get their apple and they get to eat it too? They were told not to eat off the tree. And now they're upset because the apples from that tree are getting a new family. And this energy is going to be fueling the family. It was supposed to be that way in the first place. But these guys didn't want to live with the energy of the apple. They just wanted to consume the apple and throw away the core. You know, they wanted to appear as the apple, but they lacked the roots and the crown. All they had was the energy and an illusion. They had the energy, they were dressing up in the energy, but they were not rooted and solid, and they didn't have the internal mechanism meant to pair with the energy and then to manifest appropriately. So all they could really do is destroy and hurt people with it. They're having massive regrets because you've got a 9 of Cups here. A life of luxury is coming for you. They were wanting to take it from you. This is shocking news. Oh my goodness, you're getting a wish come true. You got the Ace of Wands here, so you got lots of new opportunities. You've got a pioneering spirit. You have blazed the trail and opened the doors, many of them most likely. Leading by example, just as kind of a string, just being present, I think, as yourself, kind of lets people know that they're not alone if they share some of these kinds of thoughts that you share that are a little out of the ordinary, maybe. You're not alone. Queen Bee. Queen Bee. Willpower. So there's a lot of powerful potentials here for the Queen Bee. Boss bitch. And the devil wants it. The devil wants it. They want to harvest it. But God said this is the end of their relationship with batteries. So we're probably going to see some falling away here real quickly because we got some angry masculines out there. They're throwing everything they have at the feminine right now. All of it. They want it all. Unfortunately for them, it belongs to God, you know, God's family, and they're going to get stomped freaking hard. Aaron, I have practiced celibacy for a long time. I have become my own best friend, and I have found that looking for love, if you are looking for love, you will never find it unless you're looking inside of yourself. And once you find it inside of yourself, then it will automatically attract more of it, more of the same. So once you recognize the love in yourself and come to know what that is, then you will attract more of that that's in alignment with you. That's my understanding. Yeah, you know, and because I'm old, I have discovered that what is meant for us will find us when we are in alignment for its arrival. And if it's not arriving, that simply means we have more internal work to do, more shadow work, more trigger healing, more that, you know. Because if we don't do our inner work and heal our triggers and our wounds and forgive the people and then just breathe into the uncomfortableness of the memory of it as it pops up every once in a while, then, you know, we'll just bring that hurt and harm somebody in the next round. We don't want to do that. We want to heal thoroughly. Heal thoroughly, loved child. So you're a beloved child of the Most High, Father Divine, for sure. It could be that we've got this working diligence, an apprenticeship, a mind of an apprentice. You might have a mind where you're, no matter how old you are, you're always open to learning something new. The beloved child, and that's how God knows that it's you, because you're not out here pretending, you're actually doing. So Page of Swords, we got new ways of communicating. Somebody's restless. Somebody's restless. They're running secret accounts. They could be spying on you from secret accounts. They could be running this third party enemy, like these two who have been targeting divine feminines, divine masculines in order to gain something with these secret accounts they're running. And we got the devil on the outgoing energy here. Maybe they thought you were just like all the others. They didn't realize who you were. Yeah, we got wish. So the devil's making a wish. The devil's making a wish. They're addicted to harvesting that which you've been working for, that which you've been wishing for, that which you've been hoping for. They've been used to reaping your harvest. Sex addiction. Married. So we've got a devil out here who is hoping. This is a sex addicted devil out here hoping to gain a marriage. They want to be inside of the community. They want to receive the charity and the generosity of the emperor and his empress. So we've got Jezebels out here. It could be this devil is actually doing some kind of witchy magic or whatever to try to get their sex addicted Jezebels and gigolos married in the community. So, yeah, they're making a wish to get married. They're addicted. These sex addicted people are making a wish to get married within your community. They could be doing magic. And that's one thing that these rotten jackwagons have been talking about is marrying into the clan. Their favorite weapon of war to tear down communities and generational trees and to absorb the generational wealth, the spiritual inheritance of those families is through a relationship. They impregnate people, and then they tap in. They feel that they have entitlement to the wealth that has been set aside for those children, and they drain that account by effing and partying with all their little Jezebel hoe bag friends that they're trying to get married into the community right now. They use lust as their hook. Their hook. And if a man does not have command over his snake, then he will be tempted and he will fall and he will fail. God has stated lust will be your downfall. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you do not take the value of your soul and you are not taking seriously the procreation and the advancement of that soul, then you'll hand it over. You'll just hand it over. You'll drain your own account by letting your snake just lead you into whatever hole it wants to poke into. Somebody, so it's fake news. Fake news, DNA, they are not divine. They are not the apple from the tree. They're not the apple from God's tree, the apple that they've been feeding on. So, this is a maskwear, shady maskwear, and they're being secluded, backstabbed by a thug. Backstabbed by a thug. Toxic freaking lifestyle. The divine masculine is saying goodbye to this toxic freaking lifestyle. It's no fun anymore to just be out there like a freaking weed seed blowing in the wind. Reckless sexing everybody, no closure, left you hanging, no responsibility, nothing. Not happy, fake busy. Bad news. You've been illuminated. You have awakened and discovered the truth behind sweet talk. They wanted to mirror you. So that's why a lot of these people have been wanting to get into your energy, into your space, into your toroidal field, so that they could have permission to play in the energy and then to collect it and mirror you. It requires a relationship. It requires an entanglement, an energetic entanglement, a partnership, friendship, relationship, anything to get on board your ship. They need an entanglement so that they can then duplicate it, mimic it, present themselves in the spiritual realm as it, and that's why a lot of people are alone right now, because of these stalkers, man. There's so many stalkers out there. Unseen astral projecting stalkers. They come and they spy, and then they see, what kind of jammies are you wearing? What kind of nightgown you got on? Oh, I got to go get one for my gal. We got to mirror this perfectly, right? So they astral project. They see what the third party is doing, and then they try to mimic that. I saw a woman in the other place. She had on my same freaking nightgown. She had her hair up after bath time, and she had on my nightgown, and she was walking around looking just like me. But she had been discovered, so it didn't end well. She's got to deal with, anybody who wants to destiny swap or mimic another and try to steal their prize for their efforts in life. I think they're going to be made to travel that pathway. They're going to have to go live the life that earned that reward. And they can't just pretend it. They have to become it. So we got the devil making a wish. They're addicted. They want their sex addicted Jezebel or Jezebel to get married into the family, into the clan. They need to gain re-entry into this territory, for they have been evicted. Now, some of these people are Agent Smiths, and they're shapeshifters. I heard these enemies, adversaries, talking about she needs a death certificate, and they're talking about cadavers. So they're arranging their own deaths right now, and then they're gonna transfer, or they're gonna attach themselves to somebody, and then they're gonna bump, and they're gonna transfer they're gonna download or upload the soul value and the energetic signature, and then they're gonna wrap the crown and bury the original. This is how they've been doing it. This is what they did to me anyway. So this is where I'm getting my information. I saw it clearly. So yeah, we got the truth. The truth is out. Everybody's got mental clarity. Somebody's in their feelings. They might want to give you flowers. Somebody's in their feelings. They could be getting cut out. Well, yeah, the truth is somebody's up in their feelings. We've got exploitation. Somebody has been exploiting the beautiful feelings of humanity. Now, these copycats, they look just like us, talk just like us, act just like us, but they don't have empathy. They don't have the ability to feel. So they have been exploiting the feelings of divine feminines and divine masculines. So they've been exploiting the feelings of divine feminines and divine masculines. They were chasing quick gains by attaching themselves to your feelings. Then they could tap into that spiritual bank account and all of those gifts and all of that intellectual property and your soul value. And they could wander through life, spiritually and otherwise as you, energetically. So they were chasing quick gains, exploiting the feelings of our family, those who actually are empaths. And it looks to me like they got hit with a secret weapon. They got hit with a secret weapon. They finally chose the wrong target. Unseen by foes, ready to be unleashed, quietly, deadly. A silent strike. revealing the arsenal of the unseen. So these folks, they've been exploiting the feelings of love and the loving. That's the truth. And now they were chasing after quick gains, and they ran into God's secret weapon. Well, I mean, it is said that we should pray in thine own closet. The closet, this flesh suit is our house, our temple, housing spirit and soul. And when we are instructed to pray in our own closet, we're instructed to pray within our own temple. So, these things that, according to my own perception, there is a, kind of a hazy ground there as far as I know. Because we got folks who go to church all the time and then they're a real jerk, the majority of the week. But they go there in their best threats and doing the smiles and singing the songs, but they're not very nice, They don't really care about anybody. So we got the Four of Swords. You could be recuperating from these, happily single. So the thing is that I've heard these adversaries say, she is in solitude. They can do whatever they want with her. So these astral projecting, energy harvesting twerps go into a female's house. She's alone, she's single, she's there. They feel that they can harvest whatever they want to off of her because they've labeled her what? Goyim or some shit. They can do whatever they want with her. And they have been. Freaking side hustling your energy. If you have masturbation dreams, if you have dream lovers, or if you have mental issues and you find yourself crying or yelling into an empty room or whatever, these mental manipulations and emotional disturbances, I mean, they feel that they have a right to do this. Freaking Casanova, happily single, freaking side hustle. Side hustling, the energy, the womb of power. Freaking Casanova. Keeps a safe distance and avoids being emotionally vulnerable. Easily distracted by new attractions and unable to stay loyal. Enjoys the thrill of multiple lovers and never settles down. Now, I've heard, I've heard that there is a parasite that these particular hyper-sexualized entities that harvest sexual energy as a side hustle or whatever, as a way to maintain their own vitality or whatever. I've heard there's like a parasite that these abusive masculines, like if you have had some kind of a childhood sexual trauma, that there could be some kind of a parasite that there's like this weird thing. Narcissist, misogynist, it's like they don't think the same. It's like there's some kind of a brain or some kind of a worm in them. So regular parasitical cleanses and the various types of parasitical cleanses would be a recommendation of mine if you ever needed to get control over whatever urges you may have. I mean, I don't know if that's it, but it could be part of it, I've tried all kinds of things throughout my 20 plus years of dealing with these energetic interferences. And I've done many cleanses over the years. So very, very quickly here, we've got air travel, bumping heads. Bumping heads. Comparison. So very quickly, there's a comparison. There's the truth out here. They've been exploiting the feelings, the beautiful, feelings of the feminine energies. They've been exploiting them to get power over them. Mind games are really good. They lure you in with a love bomb, and then they start to criticize you and create some kind of a south node energy in you. So there's speculation. They needed to get you in south node in order to drain you of their happiness. They ran into God's secret weapon. This may be their secret weapon. They have stated that their favorite weapon of war is relationship. We've got bumping heads and a comparison. So somebody who has been bumping heads, they've been doing the iPhone to the iPhone thing, right? All of your soul value is now in my vessel. And that's what they do with these sexual encounters. They download soul value. So now we got comparisons, bumping heads. People are running around. Well, what's your harvest like? What's your harvest like? How many did you have to sleep with? How many entanglements do you have? Did you get a 10 of Pentacles? How many 10 of Pentacles did you get? I mean, it's a harvest. People are seen as a commodity. Comparison. Focus on your own path and stop seeking validation from external sources. Comparison with others distracts you from your own path, and inequality in resources creates tension. So these people who have been looking at others and they're like, oh, they're doing so much better than I am. Oh, I'm going to go have sex with that person and download or upload the value of their soul into my iPhone, right? Boop, boop, boop. Thanks. Thank you. Now they can go out there and get themselves a real CEO. Oh, maybe get married even. Oh, so it's a game. It's an energetic game of vampiring. And the earth angelics or the temperance angels, we don't play that game. We don't play that game. Being rich or wealthy isn't something that we chase after. Adding value to our soul authentically is something that we just continuously work on. And we're not looking out there seeing who's got more. We're looking inside here saying, what else can I add? Personally, through effort, not through stealing or manipulating. So we've got the history is being looked at by the emperor, and he's closing the cycle of the apples of God's tree, the suns and the stars, being feasted upon for their energy and their soul value. And we're having a new beginning. This is in the recent past. The emperor has closed the cycle and has pushed the button. So we're in the new cycle already. And yet we still have some nasty jacks out there vowing that they're going to come at you with everything they are, But you're already here in this community. There's a celebration, and you've got this jack over here in massive regrets. You get to go home. They can't trap you here. They cannot keep you. Even the astrologer, even the wise men that have been guiding these nasties for so long, these religious nasties. So you got a 9 of Cups. You're coming into a life of luxury. It's shocking news. You made it. God saw it. The truth of you, authentically transparent. That's the key, I was thinking, so perfectly imperfect, crocheting. I used to crochet. I still do, but I haven't done it in a while. When somebody who's crocheting or knitting, sometimes they will intentionally put a mistake into their work. This mistake is the signature of the creator of this process, of this project, right? So nobody can see it. Nobody will ever see it. Nobody will ever point it out. The only one who knows it's there is the creator. Now, people are not perfect. Within them, there are imperfections. Those imperfections while offering a level up if we choose to see them, recognize them, and then work with them or whatever. Whoa, hey, look what God left me here, right? Then, but the imperfections, or those things that we see as imperfections, are actually the signature of God and Goddess, Mother, Father. These things that we have been wanting to pull out of ourselves, to eliminate, to erase, these imperfections that we have perceived or that others have told us exist in us, those are the actual signatures of Creator that makes us unique and separate from every other portion of creation. It isn't something you want to get rid of. You don't want to get rid of the freaking signature of your Creator. Absolutely not. I mean, to think that way, and people have been so uncomfortable with their imperfections, and they have not recognized that that is the signature that makes it so special. It's really important not to see it as a lack or as some unqualifying thing. It's the actual signature of claim, of ownership. That's God and Goddess's, Mother, Father's signature. This one belongs to me. So somebody's having massive regrets about money worship. They were only interested in themselves and in the rules and decisions they made that disregarded fairness. Their values were for sale to the highest bidder. Money came first, and ethical concerns came second. I don't think they ever even focused on ethical concerns. I don't think they exist inside their mind, to be quite honest with you. So you're coming into the Nine of Cups here, a life of luxury. You've done really well for yourself. You absorbed and alchemized all of the pain and the suffering that had been laid upon you, and you remained heart open and loving despite the horrible energies, the densities that you had to manage. That is so wild. That somebody, I don't like readers that read for both sides. It's so crazy to me. I mean, sometimes we need our scary friends, man. The higher you go into the upper dimensional realms, the bigger the boogeyman gets. Because the boogeyman isn't just relegated for the deep, dark pit of the hell region. Oh, no. You go up in other dimensions and you've got a big vastness of everything, right? It is balance held. And so the higher you go, the bigger the boogeyman gets. The more light you have in you, the greater the shadow. And you have to be tested to make sure that you can actually hold that big, powerful energy in temperance without destroying anything. Are you responsible? Can you manage yourself? Can you be settled in an unsettled environment? Or are you just going to take in what is being projected onto you and then add to it and vomit it back into the world? I mean, it's a choice for a consciously aware person. So you're coming into your Nine of Cups, your wish come true. This is shocking news to those who wanted to keep you down with their manipulation. So you're getting your nine of cups, your life of luxury. You're actually going to get it. And these people who have been manipulating you are shocked. They're shocked. They gambled with you. They took a gamble. They thought that they could hurt you so bad that you would never, ever, ever get back up. Look at him. Trust me, dear. Let me drive your ship. And she said, okay. And he did. He took a gamble with this here. Yeah, shocking news. Ain't it shocking? What? Yeah, they're shocked because they didn't see love as a power source. They saw love as weak. It's the truth. They saw love as weak because you were always loving on him and he was always leaving. It's like our desire to love, it just doesn't die. And you got Casanova here taking advantage of it every freaking corner he walks on. The Queen Bee is getting a new opportunity. They gambled with the energy, the essence, the gifts, the mind, the connections of the Queen Bee. Her roots are in shadow. Her crown is in the light. She is the planetary stabilizer. And you've got these masculines out there who are running after money and they're furious. They're saying that she's playing both sides. She's not playing a freaking game. Her roots are deep and her crown is high. It's not a game, it's reality. She's not playing nothing. It's very serious. Casanova, on the other freaking hand, is playing every last freaking card he has. Unfortunately, every card he has was gained by being a Casanova. He doesn't have anything. He's not his own source. Casanova isn't a divine masculine. He's out here happily single, side hustling the energy out of the womb of power, calling himself a conqueror over women who would rather love him, but he won't commit. And so, we just have to come to the conclusion that, hey, Casanova will never commit. Look, Oath. So the Queen Bee is evaluating. The Queen Bee is now here. Jackwagons. They're so pissed off. Now, this probably happened last time too. So you've got the planetary freaking gatekeeper is the Queen Bee. It's the daughter divine, the mothers of life that are here on the planet that she has charge over and responsibility for. You got Casanova out here wanting to sex up every freaking daughter within the land, and the Queen Bee is like, oh, hell no. And the Emperor is right here saying, oh, hell freaking no. We're going to start this over. And you know what? Casanova is not going to be included in this. You're going to have to go away there, boy. You're going to have to get you're going to have to get yourself gone. We got some evaluation criteria now. Unfair assessments and rarely sees the full picture. Focus on shortcomings and misses out on potential. Oath, unity and diversity, embracing differences to create a harmonious and balanced partnership, divinely guided toward union. So Queen Bee is here. She has an oath. Unity and diversity. Unity and diversity. She has evaluation criteria. Who is it that can't see the big picture? Who is it that just is here for a good freaking roll in the hay, pleasuring this snake that's attached to the freaking temple that they have no freaking temperance energy in? They can't manage themselves. They're focused on their freaking shortcomings rather than their potential. So you got the Queen Bee here. She's unity and diversity, embracing differences. And these people who have made unfair assessments are not allowed. There's some talk about prejudice, this religious, hatred, So the Rainbow Tribe is coming together. There's no playing both sides now. This is those who are tired of the freaking feud, tired of the freaking war, are coming together. They're leaving these two factions and they're coming together as the Rainbow Tribe, and they're going to go and freaking plant their seeds together and have a good damn life. And those people who chose to still fight, to still war, to be, I'm more powerful than you, roar, you owe me what you are, roar, no, I don't think so. We're gonna put you all over there, and then the union, the ones that want to work together in a good way and freaking release the hate, they're gonna get their new beginning, and everybody else is gonna get what they want. These people who want violence will be living in a world full of violence. It's just what God said. You want a world of violence you shall have. It's absolutely what's going to happen here. The need for vengeance is in the history. Whatever people have seeded and put forth all of the energy that they had and that they could harvest from others, that's going to be their experience. So we got the Eight of Pentacles here, apprenticeship, a mind of a mastery. You got this a mind of an apprentice. You're always willing to learn more, to see more, to grow. You're not one to sit here and say, I know all there is to know, and I'm right, and you're wrong, and right? And then you don't go around spewing into the world that they're wrong, and I'm right, and this and it's a hoax. Their success was a fluke. It should have never happened. It was a hoax. Destiny swapping, Destiny swapping, womb of power, harvesting. They use that energy harvest to do horrific things magically to other people, and then they lay the blame back on the one that they harvested. It's their energy. They can hide their hand. But because you survived it and you've got firsthand testimony of it, God can see it, the truth of it. And it's like, well, there's no more, there's nothing hidden. God is here. One of these women, probably this one, she was so upset. He can get into everybody's mind. And I'm thinking, after 22 years of mind rape by all of these hundreds and thousands of masculines and their copycat Jezebels that were looking to sacrifice divine beings so that they could have their utopia. Yeah. They were pissed off that this fella, the God, can get into the minds of people. And I'm like, well, what's the problem? You all been getting in the minds of people. You all been driving your freaking soap operas of terror through the minds of people, making them look like they're insane. Jackwagons. We've got terrorists in the world that are upset that the Americans' messaging is protected by the Constitution. We've got masculines in other places of the world that are furious at your free speech and your free messaging divine. They're furious that you're speaking the divine messaging into this realm and you're disrupting their illusions of power. You are a beloved child of the Most High. Ultimatum. Oh, somebody's getting a freaking ultimatum. Oh, yes, they are. You're a beloved child of God. And God is Mother, Father, creators of all that is. The people that have been messing with you are getting an ultimatum. They're pushing the button. God's pushing the freaking button. Right there. Right there. The Emperor's pushing the button, closing the cycle. Oh, they're getting an ultimatum. Oh, they're in trouble. It imposes an irrevocable choice with severe consequences. Those who have been moving against the beloved children of the Most High God are having severe consequences for messing with your destiny, for messing with your beautiful spiritual union, the union of twin flames. Yep, they're getting an ultimatum for keeping you apart. This strong, unbreakable bond, destined to be together, your happy ending is assured. Passionate love and strong desire bring you fulfillment and joy. They're getting a freaking ultimatum for screwing around with the destiny of this Most High Father, Mother, Father, the love child. You're here with skills that you have mastered, and you're supposed to be coming together with your partner, because those two halves, they have to come together. Like one is like okay, so the way that the indigenous people, so the chiefs, the white chiefs, there's 3 of them typically, and they are their circle. There's 3 white chiefs. So the white chiefs make sure that the foundation for the tribe, the clan, the family is secure, is safe, is, it has everything it needs. It has all the food it needs. It has the water is good. Everything that the people need, everything that the family needs is here, safe, secure. The red chiefs comes together and says, okay, some shitheel is trying to trespass into our territory. Now I got to go freaking track them down and take them out, right? So you don't mess with the white chiefs and the red chiefs regarding the foundation keeping of the family. No, 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 no. Okay. The mothers have their own circle. They come together regarding the preparations of the food, regarding the needs, the clothing and the medicines that the family needs and all of that. And then, of course, there is the relationship of the people, right? Yeah. We got the Uku, which is the spiritual advisor. It could be one of the white chiefs. There's order. And specific tasks, not because one is less than or greater than the other, but because it works and it's respectful. So you've got the Page of Swords here. They're having some restless mental energy here because they're getting an ultimatum over tampering with the destiny of these beautiful beloveds of the Most High God. They're running. They've been running some secret accounts. They've been catfishing and trying to slander the identity. Oh, they're in trouble, man. They're in big trouble. And they still won't stop. They still want to come with everything they've got, but consumerism, this is how they make a living. They catfish and destroy reputations and lives of others. They got a mental, they're mental. There's something wrong with them. They've got a broken mind. There's something wrong. We're not the same. They're focused on material wealth and they neglect true happiness. They are happiness haters. It's an unending desire for more. So they're running secret accounts, trying to destroy the lives of people, trying to catfish them and siphon the reward and the wealth from their efforts in the world. We've got a devil here making a wish. This sex addicted devil wants to get married into the territory of the emperor and the empress, of these beautiful divine couples that are coming together in this land. So what's happening? Is the devil and the Jezebel or whatever going to be able to marry into the community? Will they be so tricky? Will they be able to do it? Well, the walls are closing in. There's no more space for denial, only for resolution. We've got an unexpected surprise. Somebody may try to send you a gift. The walls are closing in. They're making a wish. These sex addicted, this is what they do. They have the workplace affairs, or, the mistresses and all of that, right? It's this messy, energetic soup of filth, that they like to spread around, So the walls are closing in. They're being locked out, and they want to send a gift to divine feminine, and they're hoping that this divine feminine or divine masculine, please do what you need to do with the energies. It could just be energies. They might be playing against the heartstrings of somebody. So the walls are closing in. They may get an unexpected surprise, some kind of a gift. Somebody's addicted. Now, remember, gifts, items, these kinds of things, they can be hexed. They can get magically charmed or whatever. If somebody gives you a gift and you bring it into your house, that gift could be used as a portal and as permission to be in the energy. If a shady jack, if a devil gives you a gift and you bring that into your home, that is like giving their energy permission to be in your home. You really got to be careful when it comes to accepting gifts from people, especially right now, because people are desperate and the walls are closing in. They need access to your destiny. They need access to your future. They need to be in your energy. People will use this time, this Christmas season, to present you with gifts. My suggestion would be, if it comes from anybody shady, man, I don't know, build some kind of an altar outside and give it a blessing and let it sit there until the new year. Let God bring all the juju off of it or something. I don't know. Buried in the backyard for a while so that any juju that's on it might just go right out the freaking door. I don't know. I don't know how to do that because I'm not a witchcraft person, but I did read about that once. That if you want to invite something in, you put it in the front yard. If you want to kick something out, you put it in the backyard. But I don't really know about any of that stuff, so don't, do your research for sure, because I don't know anything about that stuff. I've just been kind of absorbing the shock and the pain of their intrusions and waiting for God to do something about it, and now He is. And these ones are insisting that Divine Feminine should step in and take responsibility for their screw up, to petition to advocate for them and their safety. And it's like, oh, hell no. God said they were going to get what they deserve, and I'm not stepping in that. No freaking way. No. But if somebody gives you a gift and you bring it into the house, that includes you in their, they're getting a jail sentence. They don't want to leave. The walls are closing in. They need to attach themselves to you. So this is tricky. It's tricky. This devil is wishing for a marriage. And, this energetic acceptance and permission to be in the house could be seen as that. Just be very careful. Just be very careful. For sure, because they want to mimic your energy. They want to be covered by your essence. They want to be protected by those who protect you. They want to mimic your soul value by putting a surprise in your house. The devil in this marriage is just an energetic exchange, a relationship. They got to be seen as relationship with you, which means they got to get their energy in your house. And they need you to give them permission. People are talking about it. You are recognized far, far away. You have broken through some freaking barrier. Like these satellites, they had some freaking barrier wrapping the planet. It was like a prison system. But your light and whatever it is that you have going on broke through that freaking barrier. And now the rescue team is here. And you got these nasty jacks that they're like seeking help now. Help, help. And maybe it's your prayers for help. Like, you know, me, I was praying. I mean, I suffered with mental rape from thousands of these assholes for over 20 years. All of them talking. You bitch, I know the first thing I'm going to do to you. I'm going to gang rape you. Can you take a whole load? Ooh, we're going to feed you to the devil. We're going to sacrifice you to the devil. Ooh, Satan wants you. Ooh, you know, all this horrible freaking shit. And then they got these little nasty little gals up there joining in with this mental verbiage, you know, wanting to take your place. Telling me that I was the one who was going to fuel her utopia, is what she said. Yeah. But your prayers made it through. It broke through the barriers and you were heard by the divine. Throughout the whole entire limitless numbers of universes, boom, your thought went straight out there. And they might have thought you were insane. The stuff that was going through your mind, they might have thought you were insane. But you were like yelling out for help. Help, what's going on? Right? So now time is relentless. Oh yeah, time is relentless. Grapples with the irreversibility of time and its permanent impact. It's impossible to reverse what it is they have done to you. They can't take it back. They got everything they did to you has to be done to them now. That's retribution. They're worried because they couldn't take you out with their black magic. You know, I mean, they're actually talking about 3D doing something, you know, and they very well may. I mean, there could be some kind of freaking nuclear bomb, or there could be, you know, they've been talking about the IDF. So they could actually drop some stupid bombs. These people who are fascinated by genocide, you know, they may very well start dropping nuclear bombs in other places of the world. I don't know. But these jackwagons are loving destruction. They love harvesting souls. It's one of their favorite freaking things. These leaders, these men who just thrive on war, you know? I am so glad that your prayers were heard by the limitless number, by the edges of the multiverse, way the hell out there. There your prayers went, and they came in and they said, whoa, well, what's this? This doesn't sound like the storyline you've been feeding me. What's going on? So they came a couple of years ago and they started to do some investigation and they started to wipe the freaking floor with Nasty Jack. Nasty Jack's pissed, wants to go and punish the females whose prayers and the males who's in their feminine energy, who was pushing out their prayers, and you were all heard. This is shocking freaking news. Oh, those who were harvesting you are so upset. They were exploiting you. And the truth is out. They've been found unworthy. So they're in their feelings because you survived and you shined. God recognized you. Everybody throughout all of the limitless numbers of universes recognizes you. And they're in their feelings about it now. They've been exploiting you and your gentle heart. chasing a quick gain. They wanted the value of your soul. You are the secret weapon. And they've been found unworthy. When they came after you, they lost their wish come true because your prayers carry and they hold weight. So you are making plans for the future here. You're putting this to rest. You're recuperating from these Mr. Casanova, the happily single dude, dipping his wig and creating energetic entanglements with many wombs of power. That's how they were drawing off of and getting to be seen as a freaking Casanova. Somebody is powerful. This is a habitual pattern. And they'll never, ever change. They don't think they can change it, and that means they don't have control over their mind. They can't manage themselves well. So we've got very swiftly, we got bumping heads, comparisons. Focus on your own path and stop seeking validation from others. So this new connection, where we're coming here in this new soul tie, there's no real comparison here. Well, comparison with others distracts you from your own path, and inequality and resources creates tension. So you're bumping heads. You're focusing on your own path in this soul tie. You recognize that comparing yourselves to others can really cause a lot of mental anguish. And what others are doing, as long as they're not hurting you or hurting anybody else, it's irrelevant. That's between them and God. If they're not stealing or hurting or stopping somebody else's opportunities from manifesting, then they get to go do whatever they're doing. This is what family trees and generational wealth are. Everybody develops their own unique and special skill, their talent, what they're good at, what the community needs, and they specialize in that. And everybody in the community goes to that person or that family for that particular thing because that's what they have perfected. And maybe they have many things that they have perfected. And that's why it's really bad when somebody says, hey, you want to learn how to do this? Or, hey, I got this job, or I got this craft, or I got this thing that I need to create. Would you like to help me? You want to come see if you can, to say, no, I don't think I'd be any good at that. That's kind of a bad thing because you have an opportunity to learn something new, to test the waters and see if it's something that you are soul aligned with. And, sometimes you just might be. And it's like if you have the opportunity to learn something new, if it's not an insult to the soul or harming somebody, then definitely try it. You may find you suck at it really bad and you don't want to try it ever again, but you might just find you have a knack for it. And if you have a knack for it, then perhaps you can get really good at it and then improve on it and then make it your own. Make adjustments and make it your own, and then boom, man. Every wonderful and great idea comes from one before it. Unless you're a generator, I guess there's only 10% of them. So, all right. So we got nostalgia with the Six of Cups here. We got closing the cycle. The Emperor is closing the cycle of eating the apple or eating from God's family tree. He's pushing the button on this new beginning. The reset button is being pushed, and we've got escape. So you're escaping. There's a new beginning. You've escaped. Somebody may be looking for an escape. The intention and expectation is that we will have a celebration upon the foundation. There's going to be joy within the community. And we've got a masculine here who's having massive regrets over their money worship. In the Bible, it says you cannot serve two masters or whatever. So I guess that's a real thing. Yeah, they worshiped money and they neglected those that they were entangled with. They were just extracting money out of it. They didn't give a shit about anybody's heart, anybody's safety, anybody's well-being, or anybody's ability to actually continue living. They didn't care. So now you're coming into a Nine of Cups life of luxury. It's what you're getting a wish come true because you've been in lack for thousands of years. You've been brutalized for thousands of years by these people who obviously know you because they've been living long lives off of your harvested energy and wealth. So this is shocking news. They were manipulating you and gambling with you. Yep. And now they're upset because you are upholding your autonomy and rejecting attempts at manipulation. You're critically examining sources and refusing to be blindly controlled. They took a gamble on you. They thought that they could control you, but they found out that you were fighting for your consciousness just as much as they were fighting for it. And you won. Your mind belongs to you and God because they saw you. Your prayers reached far and God said, whoa, that's one of mine. That's one of mine. What's going on here? And we got secrets. They may have lied, cheated, steal, kept you secret. They were lying about you. They took a gamble. They had a dream of hitting the jackpot. You were the jackpot. They wanted to replace you with this entity here and call her you and creep in on your freaking life of luxury. You are the queen bee. You got some little manipulative Jezebel hoe bag here that was wanting to be you. You are committed to unity. To embracing differences. And that's the thing that made this whole scenario possible. We've got different regions within the realm, right? Every region has its own specific spirits and guides and knowledge, right? Specialties. And when all of those people come together and they work together without bias, then, crap gets done real fast. As the roots of the tree equal its branches, so do all inner worlds match the outer balance. So it looks like the queen bee is looking at these unfair assessments. So this previous realm was focused on seeing lack. Everybody was told, well, we can't hire you. You don't have any experience. And that was that, right? Well, everybody was trained to see lack, and it seemed that the majority of people lacked the vision to see potential, which is really sad because that's what we need to be focused on. So the queen bee is being divinely guided toward union, a harmonious and balanced partnership. It could be that she is being united with somebody who had been unfairly assessed or judged. Due to some shortcoming that simply needed to be recognized as potential and given an opportunity to become. Right? And that's the thing, is that many of the many of the people were in the process of becoming, right? And sometimes, like, madness will precede the becoming, right? Like, chaos happens as everything is like coming apart and then needing to be put back together. And in that coming apart stage, many people were judged as mentally insane or as, bipolar or whatever, and they were automatically put on medications that altered the framework, what was happening. So it, like, the becoming was stopped, stifled, or it was labeled as dangerous, and then they were drugged and imprisoned. It was all that thing. Guilty. So there was an unfair assessment regarding guilt. And the queen bee is looking at that. The emperor is right here, closing the cycle on the queen bee being fed upon by vampires, wanting to hop aboard her destined path and steal her life of luxury and his, because they're tied together. This belongs to them. Okay? Now, I know that I'm speaking as though I'm speaking about two people, one couple, but please remember the world is full of couples. And so if it fits for you, then take the message. If it doesn't fit for you, then don't take the message. And recognize that the messaging it's got one foot in both worlds, right? There are things happening in the astral experience that are going to affect this experience in the 3D. So it's all starting to trickle into this scene world, and people are going to see it. It's gonna look something. Or maybe we're just going to be lifted off, and those people who didn't decide to not only help themselves, but then to share and help their community, right? And I think that's where a lot of us are. We have proven that we can hold ourselves stable within instability and within this atrocious interference. So we have been able to keep harmony within our own temple. And so now we have proven that we are stable enough and we can control ourselves enough that we have been found worthy of an upper dimensional union. And so this is where you're coming into. And these folks wanted to keep everybody in such a state of insanity and toxic environments, distractions, that they would never ever qualify. They wanted everybody to recognize themselves forever and ever and ever as a sinner, unworthy. So sad. Responsibility. Somebody is getting an ultimatum by the Heavenly Father and the Mother and everybody else, brother, sister, relative, whatever, that is claiming them as family. They're in trouble. These folks are in big trouble. They're getting an ultimatum because they have been messing around with the destiny of light-bearing beings who were here to bring family. The Page of Swords is here having restless mental energy. He and his girlfriend or whatever are running. They've been operating secret accounts. They've been getting paid to consume others' material. They've been, what do they call that? When somebody writes a book or a speech or whatever, and then somebody else comes and presents that very same speech, word for freaking word, as though they had written it. I mean, that happened. I mean, I'm so sorry. Your leaders, I call them yours because I'm certainly not going to claim them, have done those things. They call it, what do they call that? Plagiarism. They operate in plagiarism and they present themselves as though they are this holy, uprighteous person, but they're blatantly committing plagiarism. It's so freaking low vibrational, So anyway, they consume the essence and the energy of others and then they claim it for themselves and they think that that's okay. It's so freaking ridiculous. And the thing that they think they just put it right out there in people's faces, and they think that their magic over the minds of the people is so powerful that they won't see it, they won't recognize it. I mean, they really think that their illusionary magic over the minds of the people is so powerful that the people will never recognize this blatant theft and plagiarism of others. It's wild to me. Wild, I tell you. Broken. So whoever has been doing this, they're feeling broken and shattered, about this situation. The devil is here. They're making a wish. They want to get this sex addicted Jezebel married into the family. Okay. They want to plug this Jezebel in. They got to create an energetic entanglement within the family unit so that they can continue drawing from the wealth of it. This Jezebel will be the workplace affair. She will be the silent secret that married men who have been tempted try to hide. This is crazy. So the walls are closing in. This is an unexpected surprise. So they want to give somebody a present, a gift, and they want that gift in the home, to have permission to be placed in the home and held in the home, because that is their energy signature, and they want to be covered by your energy, by your home. They want to be seen as though they are living in your home by giving you a gift and having you bring it into your home willingly. That's a corded connection. That's a relationship. That is permission. That is marriage. A union, an entanglement of energy. Yeah, somebody's overwhelmed and they're stressed out. The walls are closing in. This is an unexpected surprise. They got to give you an unexpected surprise. Look, this is a liar. They didn't appreciate the beauty that you offered. They wanted to pretend to be the beauty by harvesting your energy and dressing in it, but they're not that. This is an unexpected outcome. There's gossip. You are irreplaceable and inseparable from love. Because even when the entire world shit on you, your inner divine filled you up with the love that you are. You just are love. And you may not understand it because you may have absorbed or been imbued by or with so much toxicity. You may not really understand how beautiful your love is because you haven't really received it except by yourself, from yourself and from God, from your spirit, your family, your ancestors, whatever, that have been helping you to remain steady and stable so that you could make it through this mess. They weren't able to separate you from love because you are love. They were daydreaming about being seen as you by doing this sexual deviancy and trying to destroy your reputation, your energetic signature. Bunch of jackwagons. And now they want forgiveness for being unsatisfied with the way things were. This prideful person is getting detached. They're getting detached. We're not dealing with prideful people. They're being held back because they didn't plant any roots. They don't have any flowers. They're very shallow people. There's no root. Whereas they put you in a deep, 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 deep hellhole and you had to freaking get your shine on just so you could see straight. You got roots. And these people are getting reciprocity of everything that they did to you, and you're going to get reciprocity. Look at this. You're getting a reciprocal commitment, a marriage, a union. The truth has been revealed. So you're getting a contract. These ones aren't getting a contract though. They don't know what to do because they're feeling your absence. They want to run. They don't want to run anymore. Look, this runner who was running away from you, they were getting paid to kind of stick you in a hellhole. It's like, ooh, now they don't want to run. They sabotage themselves trying to destroy you for profit. Now they're confused and they're in the shadows. These people are in the shadows. They're confused and they're disagreeing about your destiny or about their destiny. They want to have a conversation here. But you're getting a new chapter and they're in regret over the mistakes they made by keeping you in solitude. They left you alone where you were by yourself, remaining hopeful, feeding the dream of faithful, joyous union. They made mistakes. They left you alone. and you manufactured your own freaking dream, because that's how powerful your mind is. Whether they're raping your mind or not, you still had your dream. And now there's unfinished business here for them. They've missed their opportunity for a reunion. This reflection is a third party passion project puppet, and it's too late for them to take any action. You know, people are mean, people are mad, and people say that I'm mean and that I'm mad, and I just don't know what to say about that. I'm just sharing a storyline live. Thank you. Thank you. You know, back in the day, like thousands of years ago, it was really, I think that people were really mentally aware of and probably practicing working with the elements, air, water, fire, you know, and there's not too many people in the public atmosphere in these days that are aware of that. You know, they read their little books about, you know, the three realms and the witches and the goblins and the vampires and all that, and they think it's a fantasy. They really do. They don't understand. And that's just because they've been programmed, you know, to forget. So somebody's all up in their feelings about the Ace of Swords. They've been exploiting the feelings of beauty, of the divine, wanting to be love and family. They've been exploiting your feelings, chasing after a quick gain. They've been betraying people that loved them for a freaking profit. They went ahead and decided that they were gonna try to mimic God's secret weapon. And they've been found unworthy. You're a better person than they are. Yeah. God unleashed his secret weapon, and these ones are not you. It's so freaking obvious. You know, he kept everything hidden, like the true power of what it is that you are. Like, it had it all shut down. Like, there's all these different chakra systems and gates and power sources and all of that. And, you know, they didn't see who you were because God kept you hidden. You'll only need to know, or you'll know what you need to know when you need to know it. It was the message that I got, and not before then. And unfortunately, we got people out there trying to force it, right? They want to harvest the messaging from other people, and it's like, well, those messages were meant for those people, you know, not the thief, not the one who hasn't done the work and actually come into alignment in order to earn that particular unlocked message. No. So they've been out there stealing messages that they weren't energetically aligned with or ready for. And they use the energy and the gifts of that particular status to hurt people. That's why they weren't given the reward of that, because that's what they did with it. That's what they wanted to do with it. And it's like, well, you're not qualified to have this gift then. So they're unworthy. There's photographic evidence, memories in the history. You were their secret weapon, silent and deadly. They didn't even know you existed, but God has revealed you. He's revealing the arsenal, which is the earth angels. Oh, these ones are in trouble. So they want to come after. Oh, now here's the thing. On one of my previous reads, there was a fella who said that the horsemen had been identified. So we've got a fella out there who is targeting a horseman. Just so you know. I think maybe they're in air. I think maybe they think they know more than they know. And they're just talking because that's what they do. So you are recuperating from this happily single Casanova doing the womb of power harvesting, the side hustle, going and poking in his little fuel thing and extracting out the fuel, right, from the power of the womb. Casanova. They like being single because they can go tap all of the single ladies' wombs and create all of these energetic cords and drain the freaking account. All these freaking Casanovas, man. Hit it and quit it lovers. They don't have any integrity or value system when it comes to the cleanliness of their energy. It's just foul. It's so full of. Look, we got sunset. So the sun is going down on Casanova. These are habitual patterns that they don't think they can change. So the night is falling on Casanova. We've got, very quickly, we've got bumping heads and comparisons, soul ties. There could be some research going on in the soul ties to make certain that there are no uninvited guests. That there are no persons in there that had downloaded another person's soul value and are presenting themselves as such. So there's a comparison. Do they truly have the wealth in them? Or did they just bump heads with somebody and try to pretend to be that? Casanova, creating energetic entanglements, presenting themselves as somebody of value when all they are is a sneaky Pete. So there's a moment of decision coming when it comes to soul ties. Who actually is high value and who is actually simply high maintenance? That's the two. You've got high value. The high value person isn't walking around with fancy threads, creating an illusion that they are so freaking nice, powerful. No. The real deal is out here building. They got their nose to the grindstone. They're working, they're creating, they're building, they're manifesting, they're doing. The uninvited guest is dressing up, playing a role, looking real smart, got the degrees on the wall. Show, right? Rather than do. So we've got the Emperor is here looking at the history of stuff, closing the cycle of those who had been feeding on the apple. He's bringing a new beginning here, pressing that reset button. You have escaped or somebody wants to escape. We've got cool down. Somebody needs to cool freaking down. We're making a pause. We're bringing peace back to the community here. There is a celebration and somebody is having massive regrets over chasing money, over worshiping money and neglecting those that they were contracting with and harvesting from. Those mirrors. The mirrors. So they were harvesting off of, yeah. So they're in regret over that now. They neglected you. They failed to give you what you wanted. And they dressed up their mirror or themselves in your energy and presented as you. And it could very well be a masculine that's running around in a dress wearing your energy. Or maybe they're in massive regret right now because God cut them off from your energy. You're coming into your life of luxury, the Nine of Cups. There's a feminine here who's like, oh, that's a shock. You're upholding your own autonomy and you're rejecting attempts at manipulation, right? Because that's what they're doing. They took a gamble and on you and they thought that they could be you. This is a secret. So there's a secret here. Somebody's not telling everything about the apple. The apple. Wisdom, death, sexuality, joy. If they come up and say, boom, boom, they get a relationship, a friendship, a partnership, a gift. If they give you a gift and you bring that gift into your house, that is seen as an energetic entanglement. Okay, so this is a secret. These people, this secret, they haven't told you everything. You may have a secret. They may have secretly connected to you, courted with you somehow, this nasty Jack and his little chickie here is getting shocking news. You're getting your freaking wish come true. They were manipulating and gambling on your energy. Yeah. They were trying to bring death to the freaking apple. We're closing that cycle. No more shall they be consuming the soul value of the apple. They were forbidden to do this. They were forbidden to do this. So we got the Ace of Wands here. New opportunities for Queen Bee. She's embracing differences to create a harmonious and balanced partnership. Divinely guided toward union. There's no that racism crap, you know. It's like, come on, man. The brown egg, the red egg, the green egg, all of them have a yellow yolk and the same in size, and they all probably taste the same or very similar. It's stupid. So we got the Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities for the Queen Bee. She's talking about unity in diversity. There was an unfair assessment. She's looking at these unfair assessments, these deceitful convictions of guilt. She's looking at the previous judgments that these crooked and disgusting, nasty Jack judges were doing on the people, the innocent people. This has got divine timing here. Divine timing. So the Queen Bee is looking at this right here. Divine timing. The Eight of Pentacles. What have you been doing? We got some skill development. Maybe there's some skill development. Maybe you've been down in that hellhole for so long and you've had to try again to get your butt up out of that hellhole. And finally, it succeeded. You're the love child of the Most High God. He's like, child. And so he resurrected you and lifted you back up into that ascension and gathered all of your information about what's been happening here. And now the sun is going down on Casanova. They're receiving an ultimatum for they're receiving an ultimatum for interfering with the destiny of responsible unions and the children that come from them. Independent, powerful woman, a great light and a great shadow. Her roots are in the deepest pit of hell. This isn't working both sides. This is being both sides. And that's what Nasty Jack doesn't understand. He's roaming around down there in the shadows, and he doesn't have his crown in the heavens because he doesn't possess that light. He's been siphoning it off of people who do. So he's complaining and saying that she's playing both sides against each other, and that just simply isn't true. She is in both places at the same time. It's unity. And she's not fighting with anybody. She's defending herself and being defended by others. So Page of Swords is restless in his mental body. He and his girlfriend, they were trying to steal the destiny of this powerful divine woman and her emperor here. And they were trying to use secret accounts, catfishing, making nasty pictures, nasty whatever, trying to destroy the reputation of somebody beautiful. They've been consuming the life path and the wealth of others. They've been plagiarizing other people's work and then presenting as that, and they've been giving it a twist of perversion and lustful behaviors or whatever. They're broken and shattered about this, and they're going to be regretting it eternally. People who are powerful, light and shadow, people who have their roots deep into the shadow and their crown high up into the light, they're not fighting with anybody. because both of these places are being, one, they're being nurtured by this tree, and they are part of the tree. There's no fighting. There's family, stabilization. And then we're surrounded by all of these people who've been harvesting others, and they want chaos and destabilization. The devil is here wishing that they can get their sex-addicted Jezebel married into the family. Male or female, take it as it resonates. The walls are closing in on them right now. They need to get an unsuspected surprise. They need a feminine or a masculine to accept a gift that's got their energy and hex or whatever on it and bring it into the house so that it can be anchored in there and they can use it as a portal, as an excuse, as a entanglement to be connected to you and protected by your energy and whatever it offers. They're stressing out. They got to get their energy into your environment somehow. Usually they call it relationship. Well, this is relationship too. Accepting a gift from somebody who has hexed it and is looking into being covered by your essence and your energy and to take part in the gifts that your energy provides. They want to be in your home, and a gift will do it. All you have to do is bring it in, give it permission to reside there. We've got encounter. Somebody is overwhelmed and freaking out because you're about ready to meet your kingdom spouse. It'll be love at first sight. God will not make it difficult for you to understand. Somebody's overwhelmed and stressed out. So look, you're about ready to meet your person, and you've got this devil here wanting to give you a gift and have it in your house. Anybody giving you a gift right now, man, I would say, I don't know. It's up to you. Personally, I won't be bringing anything into the house. We got single and home, isolated. There are no other energies in the home. The home is pure. The home is a haven. It is a sacred space. These people are addicted and have toxic attachments to the street, to the rose, to this prostitution ring, that they have created all kinds of nasty sexual entanglements with. They've been playing with this power of the womb in a very low vibrational way. They're addicted to it. You have discovered the hidden truth regarding the treasure and how it's been being messed with, and you're letting go. You're letting go of the mystery. You have found the key, the core of the problem, the key people within your investigation that had taken a risk and rolled the dice. You are firm, wide awake, and clear-minded, very decisive. You know exactly what you're going to do, and your person is committed to protecting you. They called you a dime a dozen. Look at you standing there. Look at you. This is why they went so hard after you. You're a freaking powerhouse. That's why so many of them came after one of you. And still, you are here. And they failed. They've thrown everything that they are, everything that they have at you. And they're so mad. these animals, these genetic experiments, whatever they did, these scientific madmen, forbidden. It was forbidden for the devil to entangle themselves with the angel. So now they're drinking over this bondage, divine intervention, serendipity. They could be drinking over the fact that they had you in bondage. Now they're having anxiety because there is divine intervention regarding these affairs, this reckless sex, this infidelity, this betrayal, this horrendous betrayal. It's like they grabbed a hold of the heart, and the one who loved them, they reached right into the chest and pulled out the heart. You know, when I was 18 to 20 years old, I was engaged. I was living with my fiance, and I came home after work on the 2-year mark, and I saw him on the couch shirtless with his ex-girlfriend laying on him, hardly wearing anything. And then as I was bawling my head off, begging him not to freaking go there, he was smiling at me, amused that I was so distraught. It's a game they love to play. They love shattering souls when it comes to love. You've got your sixth sense about this trash now. So anybody who approaches you, you will know instantly. You'll get their vibe. You have been in this for a long time. You'll know the vibe. You're going to get reconciled here. And there will be a breakup with those who have been abusing you. You're going to get your dream come true. And those who have been doing sacrifices in the shadow, coming back over into the light to make themselves appear as though they were pure after just consuming an innocent one, stealing their life, an opportunity to live. They're going to be left with an empty room, chewing on what they have done to cause it. They're gonna be eating on empty, feeding on empty. They're gonna be running on empty. This is the end of their opportunity to chew, to feed on you, to feed on royalty. We've got communication records and messages of the rose are enacting law. Those sacrificed roses that have risen to the top, all of the information, everything that had happened to you, every entanglement that is stuck to you, is going to be removed and recognized and dealt with. Yep. You're getting a new beginning. So those people who were using you for money, they're getting knocked out and you're getting a new beginning. You're going to have a nice, relaxing life. You're not going to have to force yourself up and go punch the clock and come in and do all your stuff, right? You're going to be able to have a life of luxury. You're going to get up and you're going to be able to do what you want to do with your life. You're going to be able to create because that's what you are here to do. You're not here to get up and go punch a 9 to 5 and go work for the man so that somebody else can get rich, so that you can just be an automaton, 9 to 5, and you don't get anything done in your life because by the time you get home, you got to feed the kids, clean the kitchen, freaking, get shit ready so that you can go to bed and get up and do it again the next day. We spend more time working for others than we do focused on our own soul song and our heart and our connection with the divine and the creation that we're here to provide. The community is crazy. So somebody is missing you because you have transformed. You've changed. And the snake is going silent. They will be a forgotten person. You won't know who they are. They're a clown and they're running away because you've ascended and you've gained talent. You could be a water bender with the frequency of your voice, your words, your song. You manage frequency simply by speaking. And it could very well be that you have a talent of changing the frequency of the shadow. You're an alchemist. Your inner vibration and the voice that you carry and the effort that you put through changes the magic that they're throwing at you. Well, oh, hold up. I just got these cards here. Oh, aren't these pretty? Look at that. So I forgot to use these the last time. So I'm going to go ahead and pull one of these just to see where we're at. Well, yeah, that's it. You know, we have to figure out, you know, who is codependent, who is relying on somebody else to do the work, and then they just kind of skate along and pretend like everything's fine, but not because they've been helping, you know, but because of who they're connected to. Like I was connected to somebody for a while that would like fertilize the grass, but they would never mow it. So they would fertilize it, and then I'd have to mow like once a week because it would grow so damn fast. Mind you, I was working like 10 plus hours a day and running a household. So I got pissed eventually. I was just like, enough is a freaking enough. And I had a fit. I'm like, look, if you're not going to be mowing the lawn, then you need to stop fertilizing it because I don't have time to take care of it, right? They're creating more work for me. I'm like, look, if you're going to fertilize it, you want a nice lawn, then you do the whole damn thing. And so they stopped fertilizing because they didn't want to do the work. Too many video games to play, man. All right, so the truth is out about these people exploiting your feelings, your heart, your love. They've been using love and its vulnerability to manipulate and exploit in order to gain something quickly. They accidentally triggered God's secret weapon. They've been found unworthy, and there are photographic evidence of what they did in the past. We've got this card. It says, I rise from the ashes with brilliance. So you have. You are not broken. You are being reborn. Every fall carries the seed of an awakening. Rise again, brighter than ever before. And you have. You are God's secret weapon. They were not expecting you. Whatever God activated in you in these final days, they were not expecting. So we've got laid to rest, right? We got the Four of Swords. So there's a renewal, recuperation from this happily single side hustle Casanova. Like, you know, maybe your energy has been purified. Maybe you're recovering from that, doing your energetic cleanses. You perhaps are like not active with your intimate energy. The night is falling. The sun is setting on Casanova. The light is going out for Casanova. The light is going out for Casanova. My soul knows how to rise. Trust your deeper knowing. You've done this before. Rising is your nature. Let your essence lead. So you are rising and Casanova is falling. The sun is setting on Casanova because they have habitual patterns of sexing people up and vilifying or defiling or degrading the concentrated power source of the womb. Treating it like it was just a, you know, it's a sacred freaking portal for life. And they were treating it like a little lifesaver, you know? Like all I gotta do, gotta go get some of my lifesaver, gotta go eat that, right? So they were treating it like it was a freaking piece of candy. So very swiftly here, we've got comparison, bumping heads, uninvited guest, and soul tie. So those who had been bumping heads and masquerading in other people's energy, those vacant souls who have been sleeping with somebody who has great soul value, this uninvited guest into the soul tie, they wanted to bump with you and absorb or consume the value of your soul. This is a double energy. With the soul tie, this is going to be cut off. It was forbidden. There was apparently a competition, but rather than do the work and become what they are, they focused on destruction and destroying those who they were in competition with, those who were actually doing the work. So they didn't want to do the work to elevate. They just wanted to do the work to drag others down. They had forbidden the twin flame union because single, you're too powerful for the lot of them. Together, it's a whole new world. So we've got this one. Isn't that cute? My light is born in fire. Many of you were burned many times. Many of you had to crawl up out of a pit of fire many times in order to be reborn. These adversaries were complaining that you kept reincarnating. You didn't stay there. You kept reincarnating and fighting with them, being all you can be. And maybe you didn't fight. I know I didn't fight, but I did persevere through extreme challenge, most assuredly. So my light is born in fire, forged in fire. Brightness comes not despite fire, but through it. Your glow is your story. Let yourself shine without apology. This is who you are. You shine without apology. And those karmics who had been bumping heads, their wallet is empty, and they've been bumping heads with people who have value so that they can hide in the energy. But they don't have the roots. So even if they were to sacrifice somebody who had rooted into the shadows and they were able to harvest that energy and appear as though they were the same, their roots don't go there. They can't hold the stability. So you're shining without apology. And this uninvited guest is seen clearly as a vacant soul. Their wallet is empty. We got this one. So in the recent past, we've got the history is being looked at by the emperor, and he's closing the cycle of the apple of God's tree being eaten. He's punching the button here, about ready to give us a new beginning. He's hitting the red button. He's got access to the red button. You've escaped, or somebody's looking to escape. We've got cool down. There's a pause here, and we've got this card, which says, my fire lights the path. You are your own torchbearer. Let your truth guide others. Your light is needed. And you've got these vacant souls who have been consuming the light and value out of your soul. And that just can't be because, they were neglecting you. It was all about money. And they were giving your energy that they were tapping into to a copycat who doesn't have the roots, who can't hold the stability, who can't even manufacture the energy. So you're getting this homecoming, this sweet homecoming, and somebody's in massive regrets over this. Just is what it is, you know? We've got rebirth is forever my path. Rebirth, reincarnation. You kept coming back. You know, they kept sacrificing you and draining you of your happiness and putting you in a state of suffering, but you kept rebirthing. You kept coming back, doing it over and over and over again until you finally got it right. And now God's here, wiping the floor with them. Rebirth is forever your path. You are an eternal being. You are infinite becoming. Let this lifetime be one of many risings. You are the phoenix, forever renewed. And somebody is having massive regrets because they chose the mirror. So they're shocked. This mirror is shocked. What do you mean? What do you mean Queen Bee gets her life of luxury? You know? Well, Queen Bee is holding her own autonomy, rejecting attempts at manipulation. She had this man trying to steer her ship. And she said, look, man, I'm refusing to be blindly controlled. This is a jackass trying to drive her freaking ship, trying to command her wealth, taking a gamble with an eternal being, choosing a mirror, a reflection, a copycat, somebody who doesn't have any of the value that they have been pining for and stealing. The apple of God's eye. Spirit said the daughters of Eden were being eaten. So death and birth are my path. Transformation begins when you surrender. Let what no longer serves you dissolve. Something divine is waiting to take its place. You're the queen bee and you're getting new opportunities. You are the unifier. These nasty jacks, you know, they love separation. They love it when whole regions of people are stomped on, stepped on, and brutalized. They love it when they can give an example of their superiority, you know. And it's sickening, actually. It's quite sickening. So the queen bee is here, embracing differences to create a harmonious and balanced partnership, divinely guided toward union. This is, there's been an evaluation. This queen bee is evaluating the criteria. There have been unfair assessments made. The whole picture was not being looked at. They were focusing on people's shortcomings and missing out on their potential. And a lot of people were deceitfully convicted of crimes that they were driven into with this manipulation. Not everybody was able to refuse being blindly controlled. So there's divine timing here. We have this one. I am burned with divine fire. Sacred flames do not consume. they awaken. Trust the fire to shape you. You are becoming more radiant. Divine timing. It's time for you to become more radiant. You're sitting here looking at these deceitful convictions. And, I got these nasty jacks out there. The curator, he sees that the queen bee, Empress High Priestess, is advocating for people who had been deceitfully convicted. Those people who had experiences where their lives had been driven into failure. They had been set up for failure and then driven into it and then convicted of it. So this queen bee has vision. So does this emperor here. The emperor can see very clearly who it is that has the wealth, the value, the high value, and who it is that's just bumping heads and they actually have an empty wallet, but they're bumping heads and they're dressed up in the energy of it, but they're actually an empty wallet. So, but the emperor can see this. Uh-oh, who's this? Kika, thank you. So grateful. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Which deck? This deck? Oh, well, what did I do with it? Oh, what did I do with it? I think I put it in the other room. It's the Phoenix mantra from the Inner Light and Shadow mantra oracle. It does come in a little, it's just a little fold over packet. I can go get if you want to see it. So we've got the 8 of Pentacles here. You have the mind of an apprenticeship. You are a beloved child of the divine. Absolutely. Somebody's getting an ultimatum because they have been playing with the destiny of these unions, these responsible family unions that fiercely independent women are supposed to be in, rooted deeply, crowned into the heavens. This is the mother of this family that stabilizes. And they've been chopping this person down, sacrificing them and putting them into a hellhole. And they keep reincarnating this shadow. They look at this. She's wearing that big old black dress, but she's got a white horse. It's like she is a powerful light that will break through these kinds of barriers. That's why she's qualified for this. Because she takes it very, very seriously. Number one, she takes herself very seriously, even though what she's doing has been ridiculed and, slandered by so many people because, projectionists like to project their own thought processes onto others while saying they don't. It's fine. Come on. Oh, there you go. Oh. This one says, I choose resurrection willingly. Rising is your sacred choice. You don't wait, you ignite. Step into rebirth with power. And that's what this person did over and over and over again. They burned this person at the stake many times. This person is an oracle or a prophetess, and these nasty jacks who've been trying to command the consciousness of the prophets and prophetesses, they keep freaking burning. But you guys keep freaking resurrecting. You keep rebirthing. You keep reincarnating, and now you're bringing a freaking close to this mess. Page of Swords is restless in the mental body. He and his counterpart are running. They've got secret accounts. They've been catfishing people. They've been getting paid and feeding. They've been feeding themselves and earning money by catfishing people and doing the work to try to destroy their reputation and the process of their influence. They're feeling broken and shattered about this. They're having eternal regret for trying to twist your teachings, that which you are here for. You've been doing a good job, but you got catfishing out there, all of those, many of them, getting paid to try to slander your reputation. It's ridiculous. Now they're having deep regrets because fire is your transformation. You are the phoenix. Let the flames refine, not destroy you. Your soul remembers how to rise. This fire is your sacred gateway. You've resurrected time and time again as the phoenix. They say it's a hoax, and it isn't. It has happened many times throughout the centuries. You have been resurrected and died many times. And many times they have burned you many times, as well as unalived you many other horrendous ways. So the devil is making a wish. They need to get this Jezebel sex addict into a marriage within your community. Their walls are closing in on them. They want to give you an unexpected surprise, a gift. You may, masculine or feminine, you may receive a gift from somebody who is masculine or feminine, and they are overwhelmed. They need a relationship. Since they can't get to you, they need to stick something in your house. They need to send you a present. It could be, a pendulum. It could be a bowl. It could be a singing bowl. It could be anything, just something small. It could be something so freaking small. But it'll be used as a portal and as an accepted invitation or gift, permission to be in the energy. So this small little piece of potency wants to be hidden within the massive energy of you. They want to cloak in you. They're overwhelmed because you are about ready to encounter your twin, your perfect match, this one that God has prepared for you. They're trying to get some kind of a gift in your home so that they can utilize it as a portal. They're talking about Amazon. Just so you know, they're talking about Amazon. Now, they've been, as far as I can tell, they may have somebody in the warehouse or whatever that can do some kind of a cursing or a hex on the Amazon packages. You may want to bless the things that you are having delivered to your house. Or just set the intention and state the prayer that anything that you order from Amazon that has this devil's energy on it be cleansed and purified pronto. That this devil energy be wiped out and, I don't know, whoever's energy it is, may God find the signature of it and go to that location and fuck them up. Excuse my language. Major prayer lifted. Because they've been talking about Amazon packages the last few days. It's like so this is what it is. They want to bring a package into a woman's house and they want it to be cursed with a Jezebel energy. because you're about ready to meet your person and they want you to be seen as a Jezebel. So they're trying to get some cursed item into your home. This says here, I am reborn in new form. Every ending is a beginning in disguise. Rebirth is your sacred right. Embrace this renewal with grace. You're getting your rebirth. And you've got this nasty Jack out there. I swear, I think they're cursing Amazon packages. I've ordered a few things too. They weren't for me, though. They were for friends, presents for friends. So, married people, you know, friends, married couples and such. So, I don't know. This is kind of stupid that they're doing this. So, you may want to pray over your packages when they arrive. Just do a dehexing, decursing on it or whatever. You know, open the box, open the package, smudge it, you know, pour some salt in the box and let it sit there for a while. Say a prayer over it, smudge it. Make sure that it doesn't have any juju on there. You don't want to be bringing in some hex or some curse into the house if some jackass over at Amazon decided to deliver to you. Because that's what the devil here is doing. They want you to be seen as a Jezebel. They want you to be seen as a sex-addicted Jezebel, when many of you apples have been celibate for a long, long time. They want to try to put this energy on you. So be careful. Yeah, get some smudge, get some salt. You know, let it sit in the salt for a while and then smudge it real good and do some prayers over it before you let it in the house. That would be my suggestion. Well, I think that perhaps we got some good clarification here. I hope that it has brought you some clarity regarding whatever it is that you've got going on in your life. 17 years. Kika? Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's a real nice way for me to spend some time. I enjoy this time with you. I really do. I'm sorry if there were any negative commenting on here. My apologies if I didn't catch it. I'll try to be better about that because I know how disturbing it can be with the energy. So I wish you well. And I'll probably, I'll probably see you tomorrow sometime. Have a beautiful, excellent night. Oopsie. Push the wrong button. Bye.